A quirky small-town girl is here for a job as interviewing as a rich her dress just popped. To hide the wardrobe fail, she claims it's way too hot and ties her jacket around her. She was feeling safe, but then the rich. He comes specifically to say hello. Yeah, Louisa Clark. Shy move to cover her legs actually makes them like her even. The rich wife hires this sweet girl right away. This was Louisa's conservative outfit ever. Romance blooms in the rain. Echoes of affection when the door opens. Will strongly resists his life ruined by some. The spark ignites subtle yet undeniable. Will had chased off 4 applicants already using this trick, but seeing Louisa's ripped skirt snaps back into the gentleman he once was. Whispers of what? A heartfelt glimpse. Vulnerability meets chance in cinematic grace. VE picked up a problem with your skirt. That little tease makes Louisa super awkward. Wants to fight back, but she remembers her family situation. The spark ignites. 6 people squeezed into a tiny cottage, her dad unemployed, her mom caring for grandpa. Her sister is home caring for the nephew after an unexpected pregnancy. The narrative's pulse quickens here. As soft glow, the burden of the whole family falls onto Louisa. Everyone is stoked but only Louisa knows how hard it will be on her first day. Explains the duties. This interlude promises more. She just has to give him his morning meds. John handles everything else. Louisa doesn't get why she was even hired if John is fully responsible for all the complex tasks. This interlude promises more than it reveals. It's your job, I guess. Louisa thinks her charming words can cheer up this gloomy Will. But little does she know her true test is just beginning. Way harder to approach than she imagined. Heartstrings tugged. He obviously doesn't want a buzzing around him. He demands Louisa, disturbing him with his high serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. Is there anywhere I know by you, Miss Clark? My mother says you're chatty. Can we strike a deal whereby you are very unchatty around me? Louisa leaves the room, feeling totally complicated. She knows she desperately needs this job. But being treated like this would be tough for anyone to bear. Reflects life's unscripted rhythm. Looking at her unfinished task list, Louisa wishes time would just fast forward. She seriously considers quitting and finding another job. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. In the story, she vents to her sister's miserable attitude and his aggressive tone. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. But her sister shares her own news. She wants to return to school now that they offer childcare for her. I get it, you just need me to stay here and my miserable pulse quickens here. Job, so you can move on with yours. I've done my bit, haven't I? I can't stay here. You know I can. Whispers of what could be echo through. Heart melts. Why not carry all the pressure herself? Her family being happy and cozy is exactly the beautiful picture she dreams of. Romance blooms in the rain. Echoes of affection. Louisa decides not to quit. She starts wearing colorful, giving Will a sunny. This interlude promises more than it reveals. Even though she never gets a response true to her unyielding nature, but things are always as mom is busy in the kitchen mentioning a visitor. It turns out the visitors are Will's ex-girlfriend and his best friend. They try to express how much they missed Will after not seeing him for so long. But the atmosphere is suffocatingly awkward. Will senses something is off in their conversation. His ex finally admits the truth. She and his best friend have become a couple during the 2 years Will has been ill. Whispers of what could be echo through. Tender revelations. Will remains incredibly calm, offering them his most sincere congratulations. Congratulations. Romance blooms in the rain's aftermath. A heartfelt glimpse seeing that their goal has been achieved. Apologizes and leaves without looking back. The spark. Echoes of affection when Louisa is cleaning the room. Crash comes from Will S. Using his wheelchair has smashed all his old photos. Not move until I've cleaned that up because vulnerability meets chance in cinematic grace. VE got no idea what I'd do if you popped a tire. Fate always plays cruel. Love is often intertwined with silent tears of pain. A brush with. Louisa shares this story with her boyfriend. They just want to empathize with Will's tragedy, but how could someone fully abled truly understand Will's pain? Her boyfriend treats it as a joke. He even jokes about how Will could have kids. You can have sex. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. Echoes of affection. Just the girl that has to be on a wheelchair. Don Juan. The next day, Louisa tries to fix the shattered photo frames, hoping to surprise Will. But once a beautiful thing is broken, can glue truly fix it? The narrative's pulse quickens here. S soft glow's inner agony makes him vent his frustrations. Need this heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. And not that. Spare me the cod psychology. Just go and raid your grandma's wardrobe, ***, or whatever it is you do when you're not making tea. Vulnerability meets chance in cinematic grace. You don't have to be an ass. Your friends got the shitty treatment, fine. They deserved it. I'm just trying to do my job as best I can, so it would be really nice if you didn't try and make my as you apparently make everyone else. And what if I said I'm not employed by you. I'm employed by your mother. So unless she says she doesn't want me here anymore, I'm staying. Not because I care about you or particularly enjoy your company, but because I need the money. I really need the money. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. This is the first time Louisa ignores their dynamic and lays out her difficult reality. Will realizes how his words are unintentionally hurting those around him. Where hearts align but too proud to apologize, he awkwardly invites Louisa to watch a foreign movie with him. Have you seen it? I don't really like those kind of films. Those kind of films? Films with subtitles. What, did your school not teach you to read? Sit down, watch this with me. That's an order. Highlights growth in quiet ways. During the movie, Will keeps glancing at Louisa. A strange sense of intimacy starts rooting in his heart. Even after the movie ends, he struggles to pull himself away from the plot. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. Diving into the romance, the end of the film I loved. Laughing at me, I swear to God I'll push you. I'm not laughing at you.
Welcome to the show.
Where hearts align, sky is clearing.
Enjoy the vibes.
Louisa actually shares his interest. Will's joy is palpable. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. This is the first time in a long time Will has left the annex, which used to be they feel less like employer and employee and more like confidants. With the scent of rain-drenched earth, Will can't believe Louisa, despite their differences, shares his movie insights. He speaks freely. His mother comes home and is amazed her son is out of his room. She realizes Louisa is warming Will's heart like sunshine. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. Next, they take Will to the hospital for his weekly checkup. This is when Louisa finally understands where Will's aggressive attitude comes from. This interlude promises more than it reveals. Due to his spinal cord injury, his condition is incurable. The rehabilitation exercises John performs are just to prevent muscle spasms. Will had hoped for improvement, but a year of effort only allows him to wiggle his toes. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. Modern medicine offers no cure in his lifetime. Louisa starts grasping his pain, yet this despair is likely only fully felt by him. But Will's body is deteriorating. One day, Louisa notices Will isn't feeling well. She first dismisses it as his pranks, but the unexpected snow outside fills her with worry. When she calls her family for help, no one picks up. Luckily, the caregiver arrives in time. Louisa learns that because Will cannot sweat normally, a slight cold could trigger life-threatening pneumonia. This is the fourth time, the last time almost killed him. Romance blooms in the rain's aftermath. She accidentally spots a scar on Will. Fathom why someone with billions in assets would try to commit suicide. Will was a street star until a sudden accident left him paralyzed below the neck. His brilliant life was lost to a cold wheelchair, heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. His soul, longing for a beautiful future, is trapped by an invisible chain. That night, she doesn't leave work, quietly staying by Will's side. Bored, she picks up Will's laptop and finds a birthday video his friends made. He looks bright, confident, and handsome, easily conquering extreme sports, a far cry from his current broken state. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. His aura of vibrant masculinity once permeated everything, but cruel fate snatched it all away. Will wakes up, and Louisa offers him water. Just as she is about to leave, Will unexpectedly calls out to her. This reminds Louisa of her childhood when she would call out to her dad before sleeping, not wanting him to leave. Her dad would sing her a lullaby. Will is curious, heartstrings tugged by. Louisa clears her throat and sings. In the mall of Honky Land, la 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 land, where I went through. Grounds the fantasy in reality. Singing is Will can only hope her dad wasn't deaf like her. The spark ignites, subtle yet undeniable. My dad was better. I think what you mean to say is for attempting to entertain me. Pulse quickens here. Echoes of affection. Okay, Clark. Tell me something else. Because of this. Whispers of what could be echo through. Will gently opens Louisa's heart, and the barrier between them completely melts away. Louisa mentions that her favorite childhood item was a bumblebee-striped jumpsuit her mom bought, but she can't find it anywhere now. Will keeps this casual comment in mind. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. Soon, Will's pneumonia improves. One sunny afternoon, Will finally asks her where her unique fashion sense comes from. Louisa finally finds her unique identity from the shadows of the past. The spark ignites, subtle yet undeniable. She loved fashion, but family pressure crushed her dreams, forcing her to drop out of school and rush into tiring jobs. Will can't understand giving up dreams for survival. He believes you only live once, so you should live for yourself as much as possible. Whispers of what could be echo through. Because they grew up in totally different worlds, Louisa can't grasp Will's internal helplessness, just as he can't understand her pain of dropping out due to poverty. Louisa, unwilling to talk about painful memories, changes the subject by eyeing Will's thick beard. Whispers of what could be echo through. Will, you need a shave. If that beard gets any longer, I'll be picking food out of it and then I'll have to sue you for undue distress in the workplace. Changing the subject? Yes, I am. Fine, I'll let you. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. With foam covering Will's cheeks, Louisa carefully wields the razor, afraid of hurting him. As the last bit of stubble washes away, Louisa can't contain her glee. The narrative's pulse quickens here. A handsome face reappears. Before she can celebrate for long, she overhears Will's parents arguing. Will is planning euthanasia in 6 months. This is why Louisa's job is only for 6 months. His choice. Know how much pain he. This interlude promises more than it. This tragic decision is entirely Will's own. His long-suppressed soul makes it impossible for him to find hope in the world. Diving into the romance, but his sister thinks there's still a chance. Got left. Make it special. This interlude promises more than it. Ask the trainers for a budget and go crazy. Organize trips. Show him how good this time can be. Take him places. Make him laugh. The spark ignites, subtle yet undeniable. What if that list could do more than that? What if it could make him change his mind? Afterward, Louisa spends days in the library, borrowing every book on disabled sports, searching for activities that could bring Will joy. She finally creates a complete bucket list. Will's mother is pleased. But his father has different thoughts. Let him do it for himself. Be allowed to feel like a man. Whispers of what could. The plan is set in motion. They head to the first stop, a horse racing match Will has always loved. Soon as they get out of the car's wheelchair sinks completely into the mud. A brush with destiny that lingers sweetly. No matter how hard they try to get Will unstuck. Louisa asks bystanders for help. She fails to notice the shame in Will. He desperately wants to be treated like a normal person. Whispers of. With zero racing experience, puts all her money on a black horse named Will. Thinks the horse must be as abstract as its name. And can I like him? Sometimes you just have to go with your gut. I'm going to go and place my bet. A brush with destiny that lingers sweetly. John and Will exchange knowing glances, anticipating the outcome. The starter gun fires, and all the horses bolt like rockets. A long time later, abstract monster strolls out sluggishly. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. Louisa sadly tears up the ticket. Next, they arrive at an upscale restaurant, but the waiter rudely informs them that only VIPs can dine there. He dismissively tells Louisa there's a street vendor selling skewers outside. Unwilling to give up, Louisa empties her pockets, trying to buy a VIP pass. The narrative's pulse quickens here. Will is embarrassed and wants to leave. This is not hungry, just going to run and get the badges, and then we will have our meal. I'll be fine once we heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. Lou? I think Will wants to go, huh? Back home, Will feels utterly humiliated by the day's events. Heavy metal music blasts from his room, trying to drown out the emotional pain. Louisa arrives late, turns off the music, and apologetically invites Will to a concert with her. I bought the tickets a week ago. You can say no. Vivaldi concert? I've been assured it doesn't involve fighting. There's no chance of Jay-Z, sadly, his tickets had just sold out. Nope. So what it is that? Despite his reluctance, Will breaks into a rare smile after Louisa leaves. Soon it's time for the date. Will looks dashing in his suit. Louisa wears a carefully selected bright red dress. Will notices something wrong with her dress. Just got off wire. If you can wear a dress like that, Clark, ****. This interlude promises more than it reveals. You have to wear it with confidence. Only you, Will trainer, would tell a woman how to wear a bloody dress. At the concert hall, they slowly make their way to their seats under the curious gazes of the crowd. Seeing a loose thread, Louisa boldly stands up, fights it off with her teeth, ignoring the strange looks around her. You should be grateful it wasn't in your trousers. Integrates seamlessly into the arc. The concert begins. Louisa listens intently, absorbed in the music. Will, however, is captivated by the stunning Louisa beside him. As the concert ends, the night is thick, like endless ink. They reach the villa, but Will refuses to get out. I don't want to go in yet. Vulnerability meets chance in cinematic grace. I just want to be a man who's been to a concert with a girl in the red dress, just a few minutes more. These few brief sentences perfectly reflect the unspeakable pain deep within Will's heart. Later, Louisa invites Will to her birthday party. To her surprise, Will agrees without hesitation. Welcome. If you want me to. It's her birthday. The house is full of laughter thanks to Will's presence. Her father thanks Will for looking after Louisa. Layers of longing unfold in quiet beauty. Will, with his charm, quickly eases the awkwardness. When everyone is seated and ready to eat, Louisa's boyfriend arrives late. When Louisa gently wipes cake crumbs from Will's face, a strong wave of jealousy fills her boyfriend's mind. To ease the tension, Will starts talking, asking about the boyfriend's job. Life coaching, physical trending, and motivation. Local Young Entrepreneur of the Year, 2 years running. A brush with destiny that lingers sweetly. Lou tells me you're a bit of an action man, Will. I bet if we got you on a really good fitness regime, ****, the boyfriend's words are a clear taunt to Will, but Will doesn't take it to heart. Louisa quickly blows out the candles on the cake her mother brought and starts opening gifts. The gift from her boyfriend, the one she was most looking forward to, is just a simple pendant engraved with his own name, Patrick. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. What surprises Louisa is that Will also prepared a gift. She opens it with curiosity. Inside is the bumblebee-striped jumpsuit she missed so much. Her joy is overwhelming, and she runs to try it on. She can't believe Will remembered her casual mention. As the party ends, Will sees the boyfriend possessively embrace Louisa. Will jokingly retorts, actually, you gave her the good bed, bath gift. After Will leaves, the boyfriend continues to sulk. That day, Louisa plans their next trip, but an uninvited wedding invitation from Will's ex-girlfriend arrives. To clear his mind, Will takes Louisa to an old castle. Walking down the long path, they reach the top. Will tells her this is where he had his first kiss. But the girl left him after kissing, not knowing the castle was his. Whispers of what could be echo through. Louisa thinks this is the most beautiful place she has ever seen. Oh, I think this would still be my favorite spot. That's because you haven't been anywhere, Lou. Oh, so where's better than this then? Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. Val d'Isère. Paris. Plus, scoffing a croissant right by the pond. Sitting outside a cafe with a strong coffee and warm croissant, with unsalted butter and strawberry jam. So let's go. We could. That's only a star right now. In his current state, Will would rather enter place du tertiary as a healthy person. He can't reach that fairy tale dream. Perhaps by never setting foot there, that beauty will forever be frozen in his heart, preserved deep in his memory. When Louisa gets home, she finds her parents overjoyed. They are planning a dinner out to make up for all the wedding anniversaries they missed due to it. Turns out Will secretly gave her dad a job managing the castle. After saying goodbye, Louisa quickly calls Will layers of longing. Will explains he did this so Louisa can pursue her dreams without worrying about family burden. Listening to Will's comforting voice, Louisa's eyes tear up. However, Will meets with a mysterious man that day, dragging Louisa back to reality. She Googles the man's name and confirms he is a famous Will expert. They all thought the recently cheerful Will had given up euthanasia, but it seems all their efforts were in vain. Despite this, Louisa still holds on to hope. Soon, it's the day of the ex-girlfriend's wedding. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. Louisa dresses up and attends with Will. While waiting in the courtyard, none of Will's old friends approach him. The only person who comes up is Will's old rival, who proceeds to mock Will's miserable life. The man leaves with a sneer when Louisa approaches. The spark ignites, subtle yet undeniable. But Will doesn't care about the insults. Louisa's companionship gives him meaning in life. The wedding starts. Will stands alone in a corner of the hall, watching the happy couple. His heart feels pierced by countless cold knives. No one can understand his internal struggle. Romance blooms in the rain's aftermath. Louisa chats with a woman who knows everything, agreeing that the bride has poor taste, the groom is handsome but not dependable. Among their peers, only Will is truly gentle and humble. It's a pity fate was so cruel to him. Louisa goes to Will, and to cheer him up, she jumps into his arms, ignoring the stares of the crowd, rolling through every corner of the reception hall. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. Then who you never would have let those breasts get near to me if I was in the wheels. Yeah, well, you never would have been looking at these breasts if you hadn't been in a wheelchair.
Welcome to the Shin
You wouldn't.
Enjoy the
You would have been too busy looking at the leggy blonde ones. You can smell an expense account from 10 paces away. Anyway, I would have been over there serving the drinks, one of the invisibles. Am I right? This interlude promises more than it reveals. Yes. But in defense, I was an ass. Under the starry sky, they cast aside the wedding noise and worldly restraints. As the wheelchair rolls, their lives seem tightly bound together in that moment. Laughing freely in the fields, this is the happiest Will has been in years. But John notices the seriousness. Will's slight alcohol intake has triggered pneumonia again, sending him to the emergency room. John tells Louisa he has cared for Will for 2 years. Will often cries in his sleep because in his dreams, he can still ski and swim freely. But upon waking, he faces cruel reality again. Serendipity at its finest, pulling strings unseen. He can't balance his free soul with his broken body. Now, I can't judge what he wants to do. That's his choice. But that was before me? Yeah. And I know that he would do pretty much anything to make you happy. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. But I want him to live. Look, asterisk, but only if he wants to live. I can't just let this happen. I can't. And we're running out of time. Layers of longing unfold in quiet beauty. So, if I could come up with another trip that the doctors would agree to, would you come with us? Yes. Of course, Will. The boyfriend strongly opposes Louisa's plan, arguing that these trips exceed her professional scope. But he needs me. I do. I'm sorry. The boyfriend seems to understand. Even after 7 years together, he gave Louisa very little care. The trip begins. This is Louisa's first flight, and her first time in first class. They arrive late at night. Louisa walks by the gentle waves, her dress swaying in the breeze. Advances without excess drama. John and his girlfriend paddleboard and enjoy the cool pool while Louisa bathes in the sun with Will. John and his girlfriend leave to give Louisa and Will more alone time. A heavy rain. Louisa carries Will into the room and tries to close the window, but Will stops her. Compared to silent death, Will prefers the sound of the natural storm. Serendipity at Louisa expertly dries his sweat. With their eyes locked, their hearts beat in sync. Will doesn't want Louisa to leave that night. Louisa doesn't answer, just lies down beside him. Romance fills the air, and their inner desires can no longer be contained. The seed of love takes root. The next morning, Louisa is surprised to find Will has signed her up for a diving experience, her biggest fear. She tries to back out, but with encouragement from Will and John, she has the happiest experience of her life. Whispers of what could be echo through. Why didn't you make me do that earlier? That was amazing. I don't know, Clark. Some people just won't be told. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. Louisa thought she was opening Will up to life, but Will agreed because he wanted Louisa to experience the world he could no longer enter. Night falls, meteors streak across the sky, and the bonfire warms the moment. Louisa, like a blooming flower, dances by the shore. Will quietly enjoys this beautiful scene. Louisa believes she has changed Will. Emotions brew beneath the surface calm. I have to tell you something. I know. You know about Switzerland? I have known for months. Listen, I know this is not how you would have chosen it, but I could make you happy. Will can't convince himself to accept this life. He doesn't want to be a burden to Louisa. He never changed his decision about euthanasia. You're not giving me a chance. I have become a whole new person these last 6 months because of you. I know. And that's why I can't condemn you, tied to me. I don't want you to miss all the things that someone else could give you. Listen, tonight, being with you, is the most wonderful thing you could ever done for me. But I need it to end there. I died, in other words. It was so selfish. I took my arms out in front of you, and all you can say is enough? And now you want me to come and watch the worst thing you could possibly imagine? Do you have any idea what you're asking? Advances without excess drama.
Welcome to the Shin Music Channel. Enjoy the vibes.
I wish I had. I wish I had never taken this job. I wish I had never met you. Louisa. Wait for me. Will's heart is equally tormented. He had fallen deeply in love with her vibrant energy in their countless small moments together. But fate is cruel. The spark ignites, subtle yet undeniable. The next day, they begin their journey home. The joy they arrived with is gone. The usually chatty Louisa is silent in the car. Soon they arrive home. Seeing his son's radiant face, Will's mother believes he has changed his mind. His father invites Louisa to dinner, but the heartbroken Louisa walks away without looking back. His mother realizes the truth. You don't need to pay me. I'm sorry. Back home, her sister can't bear Louisa's pain, knowing all her hard work has been for nothing. Her father reassures her that even if the outcome is set, Louisa never failed. Keeps the momentum steady. You can't change you people, Lou. You love them. No one could have done more than you. You have a heart as big as that castle, and I love you for it. Louisa finally understands that Will is the best interpretation of love for her. Her sister takes her to the clinic where Will undergo euthanasia. Will's parents leave the room for them. You're here to make my last cup of tea? Actually, no. I'm here to kidnap you. I'm going to steal you, and I'm going to take you to, where? Rio? When my mom and dad are having quite fun again, Louisa slowly walks to his side. Will quietly hums the lullaby Louisa once sang to him. They kiss one last time. With Louisa by his side, Will drifts into sleep peacefully, filled with happiness and love. This is how he ends his life. Even though Louisa couldn't change the outcome, her presence left a deep mark on Will's heart. Ties loose ends with ease. As the first autumn leaf falls, Louisa sits in a Paris street cafe, opening the letter filled with love. Clark. A few weeks should have passed by the time you read this. If you follow the instructions, you'll be in Paris. Whispers of what could be echo through. On one of those chairs that never sit quite level on the pavement. I hope it's still sunny. Across the bridge to your right, you will see a patisserie. You should try the scent, called Packing on Extreme. I always did think it would smell great on you. There are a few things I wanted to say, and asterisk. Keeps the momentum steady. Couldn't because you would have got all emotional, and you wouldn't have let me finish. So, here it is. When you get back home, Michael Lawler will give you access to a bank account that contains enough to give you a new beginning. Don't start panicking. It's not enough for you to sit around for the rest of your life, but it should buy you your freedom, at least from that little town we both call home. Live boldly, Clark. Push yourself. Don't settle. Builds the world without fanfare. Wear those stripy legs with pride. Knowing you still have possibilities is a luxury. Knowing I might have given them to you, has eased something for me. So, this is it. You are scored on my heart, Clark. You were from the first day you walked in with your sweet smile and your ridiculous clothes, and your bad jokes and your complete inability to ever hide a single thing you felt. Don't think of me too often. And when you're getting sad, just live well. A bridge to the next revelation. When I am gone, don't think about me anymore. I'll be walking beside you every step of the way. No regrets. Love. During this brief but long 6-month journey, Louisa learned the true meaning of life and what love should look like. The contrasting colors of her outfits and her boyfriend already foreshadowed the ending. He was late for her birthday and gave her a gift engraved with his own name. He even brought his buddies to Norway, turning their trip into a local competition. When Louisa mentioned wanting to see a foreign film, he picked one he liked without asking her opinion. He was too self-centered. Heartstrings tugged by the unlikeliest paths. Even though he knew Louisa hated running, he still forced her to jog with him. He never truly respected Louisa. In this 7-year relationship, Louisa's only mistake was not leaving earlier. She mentioned the bee-striped jumpsuit she loved 1,000 times, but her boyfriend never cared. She only sang that lullaby once, but every note was etched like an imprint on Will's heart. From the moment Will woke up after the accident, his heart was locked in that converted stable room. Every second he lived was torture. Even though he met Louisa, a woman like a flower, he knew she lacked confidence and vision and didn't plan for herself. Grounds the fantasy in reality. Will forced her to try new things, watch foreign films she had, and gave her father a job and left her a fortune, pulling her back to her original path in life. He taught Louisa what true love looks like, the spark. If the boyfriend's love was about possession, Will's love was about letting go. They were strangers whose paths crossed, sparking a unique flame. The meaning of life is not just possession, but experience and growth. Every encounter should not be seen as accidental, they shape our lives invisibly. Layers of longing unfold in quiet beauty. No matter how hard life is, we must bravely face it, learn to draw strength from pain and move forward, just as Louisa did, using love and courage to embrace every beginning in life. Before meeting you, I enjoyed my lonely world. After meeting you, I gave you my flawed but beautifully honest. And may we all find a love that makes us live boldly.